Hey guys, we're going to read a book called Prove It. It is going to help us understand a little bit more about fact and opinion. How do you know for sure? You and your friend wonder how to split a jar containing green and pink candies evenly. Your friend looks at the jar and says he'll take the green ones because it looks like there are probably the same number of each color, but you want to know for sure. You suggest sorting them by color and counting them. You are thinking just like a scientist. Scientists are people who study the natural world. The natural world is made of all the living and non-living things around us. Scientists are curious. This means they are interested in learning about new things. Scientists want to explain or give reasons why things happen the way they do in the natural world. But how do they know what the best explanation is? They use facts to prove it. Some scientists study plants and learn about how they grow. Investigations. Scientists learn about the world by using questions. They might ask these sort of questions. What does a seed need to grow? How does a snake move? Scientists do investigations to answer their questions. An investigation is a way of gathering information. Investigations can be done by making observations. An observation is information gathered using your senses, such as sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. Investigations can also be done by sorting things into groups or doing an experiment or test. The kind of investigation a scientist does depends on the kind of questions he or she wants to answer. Investigations allow scientists to gather as much information on a subject as they can. A scientist asks, which bounce higher, a golf ball or a tennis ball? To answer the question, the scientist does an experiment. Both balls are dropped from the same height. The scientist watches and measures how high each ball bounces to find the answer. What is data? The information scientists collect during investigations is called data. Data includes every fact that has been observed. This information is recorded by the scientist and used to help answer his or her question. Just like scientists, we use our 5 senses to gather information. Question: why do birds have different beak shapes? What is evidence? Evidence is a set of facts from the data gathered that supports a scientist's answer. Not all the data collected is evidence. Only the data used by the scientist to answer the question is evidence. The answer or conclusion is something that can be observed, demonstrated, or supported with evidence. Conclusion: the shape of a bird's beak helps it eat a certain kind of food more easily. Scientists put data in a form they can use, such as charts or graphs. Then they look for patterns or causes and effects. The data here shows evidence of a connection between beak, shape, and food. Is it fact or opinion? Scientists use facts as evidence. A fact is something that can be proven to be true. For example, if you drop something, it will fall towards the ground or floor. That is a fact. Objects fall downward because a force called gravity pulls them in that direction. Even if you don't know about gravity, you can demonstrate that this is true by dropping different items yourself. You have proven that this fact is true. Even feathers will float downward when dropped. An opinion is a personal feeling or belief about something. Opinions are statements that cannot be proven by facts. You can say that a sunny day is nicer than a rainy day. Is it true for everyone or just you? Other people may like rainy days better, so it is not a fact. Read each sentence below. Is it a fact or opinion? Please explain your thinking. Bees can sting. Sharks are scary. Summer is the best season. Water turns into ice when it gets very cold. Birds make better pets than dogs. This is an opinion because it cannot be proven. Some people may think dogs make better pets than birds. An opinion cannot be proven with evidence. What is an argument? Did you know scientists have arguments? This doesn't mean they fight. In science, an argument is a scientist's best answer to a question and the evidence that makes him or her think it is the best answer. Arguments help everyone find the best scientific explanations. Scientists use reasoning when they look for evidence in data. Reasoning is wise thinking that helps them form conclusions about facts and ideas and figure out what they mean. An argument is made up of two parts, a conclusion and evidence. A conclusion is a scientist's best answer and must be something that can be observed, demonstrated, or supported with evidence. A conclusion supported with evidence makes it hard to argue that a different conclusion is more correct. A scientist might form the conclusion that bird beaks are different because they eat different kinds of food. A scientist that observes birds eating will see birds that drink nectar have long, thin beaks to reach inside flowers. He or she will also see birds that eat seeds have strong, thick beaks to crack them open. Supporting the argument. These young scientists want to do an investigation to learn more about how light helps plants grow. They start by asking a question. Is a plant's height and the number of leaves affected by how much light it receives? They plan and carry out the investigation. They put one plant under a light for 24 hours every day for a week. They put the same size and kind of plant under a light for 12 hours every day for a week. They collect their data to help them answer this question. The data shows the plant that received 24 hours of light every day grew 6 inches tall and has 12 leaves. The plant that received 12 hours of light grew only 3 inches and has only 7 leaves. The young scientists draw the conclusion that the height and the number of leaves of a plant is affected by the amount of light it gets. The height and the number of leaves increase as the amount of light increases. The evidence from the data supports their conclusion. The plant that receives more light grew taller and has more leaves. Explore it. Can you draw a conclusion from the data below? What is your evidence that your conclusion is correct? A boy wonders if an object is hollow, will it float? He sees that a beach ball floats in the pool, but a water balloon sinks. Scientists share information. Scientists share their conclusions with other scientists. They also share their evidence. Sharing information allows other scientists to use their own investigations. They can repeat the same investigation or investigate different parts of that idea. More information is learned by sharing. The idea that all living things are made up of cells, the smallest unit of life, was discovered over 150 years ago. Later, other scientists learned that cells have tiny parts that make them work. Sharing results let other scientists repeat your investigation. When your work is repeated and the results are the same, it shows your work is based on evidence. No one knew about gravity until Sir Isaac Newton wrote about it. Other scientists carried out his tests and the results were always the same. Scientists share their conclusions in different ways. They may write reports in science magazines. Experts read their reports and use the information. Some scientists share their conclusion and evidence at conferences. This way, other scientists can ask questions. They work as a community to learn more. They argue to find the best evidence for conclusions. Others present the information at universities. They discuss their information. Sharing ideas leads to better evidence and sometimes even new ideas. Respect through questions. Scientists do not always agree with one another, but they always show respect to other scientists. They listen carefully, then work to investigate the information. Not only is listening good manners, it might also give them a new idea to investigate. They may disagree, but they listen well. Scientists expect questions from other scientists. Being able to explain his or her thinking makes sure a scientist's work is as correct as possible. Good, respectful questions help everyone understand the ideas better. Asking, "How do you know?" makes scientists review their work and show it was correct information. Good questions ask things like these. How does your evidence support your conclusion? How many times did you repeat your investigation? Did anything happen that you could not explain? What is the importance of your conclusion? May I see your data? Scientists present their evidence when talking to other scientists or writing about it. They speak about it like this. The evidence I use to support blank is blank. I believe blank, a statement, because blank, a reasoning. I know that blank is blank because, based on blank, I think blank. Scientists may have different ideas about the evidence that they had been presented. They argue but word it with respect. I disagree blank because blank. The reason I believe blank is blank. The facts that support my ideas are blank. Matching evidence. People, animals, and plants change their environments to meet their needs. They do this for many reasons. People and animals change their environments to make shelters, grow, or find food, and keep safe. Plants grow in the soil that has nutrients they need. Their roots spread out to reach the nutrients. Use the pictures on both pages as evidence to support each of these three conclusions listed below. Match the picture to the conclusion. Animals change the environment. Plants change the environment. People change the environment. Make observations from your own environment and add them as evidence to one of these three conclusions. Make observations in your backyard, local park, your schoolyard, or around your neighborhood. Prove it yourself. The goal of a scientist is to prove his or her answer is the best one possible. She does this by basing her conclusion on evidence. Scientists must always be able to explain their conclusions. Scientists do not use opinions. Opinions are based on feelings, not evidence. Scientists use reasoning at every step in their work to give the best possible answer to the questions they are investigating. Scientists investigate an idea in different ways. They gather facts, which are their data. The group of facts from the data that support their ideas becomes the scientist's evidence. Evidence is used to draw a conclusion. Scientists make an argument using their conclusion and evidence to show that their idea is correct. The end. Today I want you to write down one fact and one opinion. Bye, guys.